Have you ever made a man cry over you? Not from pain, not from heartbreak, but because something tightens in his chest and refuses to let him sleep. He can't even fully explain it. All he knows is that he needs you. And no, it's not what you're imagining. It's not about saying the perfect sentence or doing something wild in bed. This goes deeper, more unsettling. It's that moment where you shift from being a woman he likes to the one he simply can't shake off. Think about it. Men receive attention constantly. They get compliments, playful messages, even admiration. But how often does a man feel truly seen? There's a single gesture, small, quiet, that speaks straight to the part of him he hides from everyone else. When you do it, you slip through his armor with ease, and once it happens, he's lying awake, restless, replaying it without knowing why. Before I tell you exactly what this moment looks like, picture this. He's on his bed, holding his phone, scrolling back to your last message, trying to decode what shifted inside him. If you want to create that kind of emotional pull, the kind that makes you unforgettable, stay with me, because once you understand this, you'll never find yourself chasing him again. Now let me ask you something. If you're comfortable, share it in the comments. Have you ever had that instant where a man looked at you like he had never seen another human? What did that feel like? She didn't touch his hand. She reached a place in him he didn't even know was waiting for a touch. Let that sink into your chest for a second, my friends. Have you ever wondered why certain women without the so-called perfect body, who don't post polished selfies, who aren't lounging on yachts in Bali, still become the ones a man can't forget? Why she, out of everyone else, is the one who stays in his mind? It's not magic, and it's not luck. It's something ancient and quiet that Carl Jung would call the power of presence. Before we go further, hit that like button, tap subscribe, and do it for yourself, not for me. Because what we're unlocking isn't just advice. It's an entirely different way to understand love, connection, and your own feminine power. Picture this, ladies. You're standing in a crowded train station, people rushing, screens glowing, energy buzzing, and then a woman steps in. No exaggerated smile, no flashy outfit, just stillness, calm eyes, a grounded energy that doesn't chase but simply is. The room shifts, heads turn, the air changes. That isn't magic, that's resonance. And men sense that immediately. They feel it in ways they can't explain. Now let me ask you again. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right? Being kind, looking beautiful, replying quickly, and still invisible to the man you want? Like you're standing outside of something you can't name? Here's the truth. You were trained to fight the wrong battle. You were told to touch his body when he gives his heart to the woman who reaches his mind. Because real feminine power isn't loud. It doesn't beg. It makes him feel like he just walked into a dream he didn't know he was searching for. Most women chase attention. The unforgettable ones draw it in naturally, not by being louder or revealing more, but by revealing less and meaning more. They speak to the hidden part of him, the part that's tired, afraid, longing for someone to see beyond the mask. These women don't get overlooked. They get remembered, because a man might share his body with many, but his mind, his surrender, belongs to the woman who knows how to live, not only in his arms, but in his thoughts. So if you want to become that woman, the one he thinks of when he's alone, the one he compares others to, the one who moves through his mind like a whisper, stay here, because what we're diving into now is not manipulation. It's grounding, it's depth, it's the kind of magnetism that doesn't fade. Let's begin. Number 1, a man doesn't fall because of simple touch. He falls because of tension, the spark in the moment. Desire doesn't begin when he feels your skin. It begins when he realizes he can't. Real feminine power lives in the space between, in the tension before the touch. Imagine a dim theater. The music rises. Two characters move toward each other. Their fingers almost touch, but don't. The whole room leans in. Hearts race. Why? Because the moment hasn't arrived. It's approaching, and the anticipation creates electricity. Most women rush into the moment. The kiss, the text, the "what are we?" They think closeness equals connection. But connection isn't built on certainty, it's built on curiosity. A man doesn't surrender to what's obvious. He surrenders to the pull. And the more you chase clarity, texting first, explaining fast, asking where you stand too soon, the more you smother the space desire needs to breathe. I know why you do it. You want reassurance. You want stability. You're tired of games. But rushing ruins the magic. Forcing clarity kills the mystery. Holding on too tight makes him pull away. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will guide your life, and you will call it fate." And that's what's happening. It's not that he felt nothing. It's that you didn't give him room to feel it on his own. Men don't fall because you reach out. They fall because they reach out and find you steady, calm, unshaken. Anyone can touch his body. Not everyone can leave a shiver down his spine long after she's gone. So next time you crave closeness, pause. Let him lean in. Let him miss you. Because if he never misses you, he won't value you. You don't need to reach across the table. You just need to sit there, composed, centered, and let the space between you do the work. If you've ever felt too much or not enough, if you've ever poured yourself out until you were empty, hear this. You don't need to touch his skin to be unforgettable. You need to master the pause before the touch, the breath before the leap, the silence that speaks louder than any words. Desire isn't born when he holds you. It's born the moment he wonders if he ever truly will. And this is just the beginning, because what comes next isn't about distance, it's about depth. Number 2, the mind is where real closeness begins. The body remembers your touch, but the mind holds your mystery. If you want to be in a man's body for one night, be obvious. But if you want to live in his mind for months, be unforgettable without effort. A man's body reacts to what's in front of him. His mind responds to the images, the stories, the curiosity you leave behind. You don't need to reveal everything. Just plant the spark and let his imagination complete the scene. Instead of saying, "I miss you," try, "If you were here right now, I'd probably be causing trouble." You're not giving him a sentence. You're giving him a scene, a feeling, a moment he replays while working, driving, lying awake, thinking, "Why can't I stop imagining her?" Said the unconscious speaks in symbols, so speak in symbols. Hints, energy, essence, not pressure, not explanations. Say less, but make it mean more. Now we go deeper. Number 3, stillness speaks louder than seduction. In a world drowning in noise, the woman who remains calm becomes the strongest echo in his mind. Everyone is chasing reactions, validation, attention. But the woman with nothing to prove stands out effortlessly. Most think connection happens through more talking, more pleasing, more effort. But truthfully, stillness communicates what words never can. Imagine walking into a place full of people, all trying hard, talking loud, cracking jokes, moving fast, and then there she is, steady, leaning against a wall, sipping her drink slowly, fully grounded, utterly at ease. She's not competing for anyone's attention, yet everyone can't stop glancing, wondering who she is. That's the strength of stillness. That's presence, the kind of energy that never pleads for attention, but effortlessly attracts it. Here's what many overlook. Stillness isn't weakness, it's power. It tells him, "I'm not here to chase, I'm here to be experienced." When you stay in that state, not fidgeting, not forcing anything, not rushing to fill every tiny silence, you become the most captivating mystery in the room. Carl Jung once said, "Your vision becomes clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens." Stillness reveals that inner certainty. You don't need to win anyone over because you've already won yourself. Men feel that. They sense the shift between a woman who craves attention and one who knows she already carries it. So next time you feel the urge to overtalk, over-explain, or overdo, pause, breathe, and let the quiet last one heartbeat longer than usual. In that stillness, you don't lose him, you draw him closer. What we're unlocking next isn't about staying silent just to seem mysterious. It's about knowing how to hold the moment right before it lands. That pause, that almost, is where real desire gathers. Stay with me. Number 4, the pull of the almost. Sometimes the most unforgettable moment is the one that never fully happened. There is a rare kind of tension that lives inside what I call the almost kiss, the almost touch, the almost confession. The reason it burns into memory is because it never gave him the closure he subconsciously expects. It left just enough space for his imagination to roam. And trust me, the male mind loves to wander. Picture this. You're watching a film. The couple leans in, music rises, your heart beats faster, they're inches away from kissing, and then the screen cuts to black. Silence. You're suspended. Your mind instantly continues the scene, wondering, did they kiss? What came next? That open ending is what keeps you hooked. That's how you stay in his thoughts. Carl Jung said, "A symbol is always larger than the thing itself, because symbols awaken the unconscious." When you become a woman who hints at intimacy instead of rushing into it, you become the story he keeps rewriting in his mind. So, next time you're in one of those charged moments when he's leaning in, waiting for more, try this. Pause, smile, step back, and say something like, "We probably shouldn't, but wow, that was close." Leave it there. No explanation, no follow-up. You just created an emotional cliffhanger, and now he's craving the next chapter. When you hand him everything instantly, there's nothing left for him to imagine. But when you offer just enough, that almost moment keeps him longing. And longing doesn't come from having it all, it comes from wanting more. Never forget the force of what's unfinished. It lasts longer, sinks deeper, and echoes louder. Next, we're not just keeping him wondering. We're about to let him feel what it means to truly be seen. Not flattered, not mirrored, but stirred. Stay with me. Number 5, he doesn't need another mirror. He needs a muse. He doesn't fall for the woman who simply reflects who he already is. He falls for the one who shows him who he could become. That, my friends, is the difference between basic attraction and real transformation, between being wanted and being unforgettable. Many try to bond with a man by mirroring what he already knows about himself. They echo his charm, praise his strengths, nod at his wins. Sure, it feels good for a moment, but what happens when that mirror cracks? When his shine dims? When he's not performing at his best? When his mask slips? That's when the muse emerges. Because a mirror only reflects who he is now, but a muse speaks to the part of him that hasn't fully awakened. She doesn't just see what's there, she stirs what's possible. Picture a man who built his identity on success, status, or image. Everyone around him applauds the polished presentation. Then one night, he sits across from a woman who says, "I see the fire in you, but I also see the fear you've never spoken." She's not attacking him. She's inviting him into growth, into depth, into something more authentic than the roles he's been performing. That, my friends, is seduction at the soul level. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." When you become the woman who reflects not only his image, but his evolution, you become unforgettable, not because you flattered his ego, but because you awakened something inside him he thought was buried. So don't just echo his confidence. Speak to the man within the man. Say something that lifts the veil enough for him to realize someone out there truly sees more. You're not here to make him feel admired. You're here to make him feel awakened. Because when a woman speaks with presence and precision, when she touches not his pride but his essence, she becomes the woman he can't define. The one who unsettles him in the best way. The one he remembers not for what she wore, but for how she saw him when no one else did. And next, we're shifting the entire game. Because before he can crave you, he must respect you. Stay with me. Respect first. Desire second. Desire without respect is just a temporary spark. But respect, that's the root of devotion. Let's be honest, my friends. You've seen it. Women who are desired, chased, even obsessed over, yet never truly valued. The hard truth is this: if he doesn't respect you, no level of chemistry will keep him. We live in a world obsessed with being wanted, being texted back, being noticed. But here's what no one teaches you. Being desired doesn't mean being chosen. Desire without respect is fragile, reactive, shallow. It touches your skin, but never reaches your heart. Respect is what makes a man pause. It's what makes him drop the mask, sit straighter, speak with intention. And what earns that respect? Not performance, not perfection. Presence, standards, even silence. Carl Jung said, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." That truth applies here. You don't need to announce your worth or repeat your boundaries endlessly. You simply need to embody them. Imagine this. He's used to women who entertain, flatter, and chase him. Then he meets you. You don't rush to respond. You don't bend yourself to fit. You don't perform to be liked. You meet him not as someone trying to win him, but as someone who already knows she is the prize. That shift rattles him because he's not used to a woman who doesn't audition for his approval. Men don't pursue the loudest woman. They pursue the one who knows her value and refuses to compete for theirs. So if you've ever wondered why he keeps returning to the woman who wasn't easier or prettier or kinder, this is why. She didn't act from lack, she acted from certainty. Respect always precedes depth. Respect makes him think twice before playing games. Respect lays the foundation where genuine desire can grow instead of burning out. Next, we step into the kind of language that touches his subconscious, where your words don't just impress, they linger. Speak in images, not explanations. The heart doesn't react to data, it reacts to imagery. And if you want to be unforgettable, don't just say things that make sense. Say things that make him feel. The unconscious mind, the part of a man that forms true attachment, doesn't process logic. It processes sensations, emotions, pictures. This is where most people fail. They try to be clear. They explain, define, label. I really like you. I miss you a lot. I want to see where this goes. Yes, these words are honest, but they fall flat. Why? Because they don't spark imagination. They don't open a scene in his mind. And when you fail to ignite feeling, you become just another voice in the noise. Carl Jung once said, the psyche isn't made of matter, but of meaning, and meaning lives in images, not explanations. So instead of saying, I miss you, try this. If you were here right now, we'd be curled up on the couch laughing about something ridiculous and forgetting the whole world outside. Feel the difference? One is a statement. The other is an atmosphere. You're not giving him information, you're giving him an experience he can step into. Imagine sending him a late-night text, not thinking of you, but it's the kind of night where your hoodie would be around my shoulders and my feet would be in your lap. Suddenly, his mind is there, and he doesn't just miss you, he feels you. That's emotional fluency. That's symbolic seduction. That's what makes a woman unforgettable. Not because she talks louder, but because she speaks the language of depth. So don't over-explain your feelings like you're in an interview. Paint them, suggest them. Let him enter the world you're inviting him into. Because when a man feels something from you that no one else evokes in him, he doesn't just hear you, he keeps you. In his thoughts, in his memory, and eventually in his heart. Next, let's talk about the strongest signal of all. And it's not your words or your gaze. It's your energy. Don't just touch his body to be remembered. Touch his soul, and he'll never let you go in his mind. That, my friends, is where we land. After all the lines, the glances, the unfinished moments, and whispered images, one thing stays with him longer than all the rest. Your energy. You can learn every clever phrase, perfect your timing, wear whatever makes you shine, and deliver every right line, but none of it matters if your energy contradicts your truth. Words can be imitated. Looks can change. But your energy, that's your signature. And whether you notice it or not, it speaks first. You've felt this yourself. Someone enters a room and says nothing, yet their presence shifts the entire atmosphere. They carry something, calmness, gravity, authenticity, that can't be faked. That's what happens when a woman truly knows herself, when she moves from her values instead of her fears, when she speaks from intention instead of insecurity, when her silence doesn't whisper, I hope this works, but states, I trust myself completely. Klung once said, what you believe about yourself becomes your truth. So here's the real question. What do you believe about yourself? Because your energy always reveals it. If you believe you're not enough, you'll overcompensate. If you believe you must earn love, you'll perform for it. But if you know you're already the experience, you stop chasing, you start radiating. That's the woman he never forgets. The one who didn't reach out for him, but stood so fully in her presence that he couldn't help being drawn in. Not by pressure, not by fear, by feeling. So hear this, you don't need to beg for attention, compete, or convince. You just need to return to yourself. Because when you do, the right man won't just notice you. He'll feel something he can't name. And that, my friends, is where real seduction lives. Not in your moves, but in your energy. So if this journey has awakened something in you, like this, subscribe, stay glowing, stay grounded, and I'll see you in the next one.